What makes the good life the good life? This podcast is on a mission to find out. Join us for the third season of exploring the best voices and stories the Heartland has to offer. Venture to all four corners of York County, because when it comes to quality of life, it's all about keeping it local. Brought to you by the York County Development Corporation. This is 17 County, Season 3.
All right, thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and review our podcast. Doing so helps grow the podcast, and we certainly appreciate that from our listeners. Today we are joined by an individual who has made York County their home. This person started in York working and decided he wanted to make a difference. He joined the York County Sheriff's Department in 2003, and when the Henderson Police Chief of 44 years decided to retire, John saw it as another opportunity to keep doing what he enjoys and still remain in York County. John Prusia is the newly positioned Chief of Police here for the city of Henderson, and I'd just like to welcome John to the show. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Derek. Great to be here.
Awesome. So first thing we're going to jump into, you're trapped on a desert island. What are three things that are going to have to be with you in order to either survive or stay sane? Anything.
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Probably my wife.
Yeah.
And the kids.
There you go.
Yeah, just family.
Yeah, it'd be good to have them around. Yeah. Other than they're stuck on the desert with you then.
Yeah.
But it's good to have them with
selfish,
you.
Right?
Yeah. But it's good to have them with you there.
Yeah.
For sure. So talk to me a little bit about growing up in Fremont there. You grew up in Fremont and came on over.
My wife and I are both originally from Fremont. We were both born and raised. I grew up in a family of where there was myself and I had three siblings, mom and dad. I went through most of my grade school education in the Fremont public school system. Same thing with middle school, senior high. I met my wife when we were relatively young, knew her for quite some time, ended up dating in high school sweethearts. And,
that's cool, the high school sweetheart thing, yeah.
And, I asked her to marry me. She said yes. And
so were you much involved with like activities or sports, or what did your parents do even?
My mom primarily was a homemaker. Dad was a mechanic all of his life. I played a little bit of sports. Wasn't real good at it, but I liked it.
Kept you busy, yeah.
Kept me busy. Kept me out of trouble.
Yeah, kept you around friends, yeah.
Yeah. Tried to stay active in some youth programs and church activities as well. Just a normal, I guess, what I would call, American
regular old upbringing, yeah.
There was nothing, real fantastic about it. There was nothing real terrible about it. I think we were middle class, or that's what it seemed like. Mm-hmm. So, it was just growing up.
Did you do much like 4-H or anything like that, or were you more of like just like sports and like go to church youth groups?
Yeah, I didn't have the opportunity to do too much 4-H stuff. In a way, I guess I probably wished I did.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. But yeah, I mean, you found something that kept you entertained.
Exactly.
For sure. Did you like to tinker around Dad at the shop and stuff like that?
When I could.
When you could.
Yeah. He was pretty busy. It just didn't have the opportunity to go out and hang out as much as maybe I should have or wanted to.
Definitely. So after graduating high school, did you stay in Fremont?
Actually, right out of high school, I asked April to marry me. She said yes. We got married the summer after graduation. We started a family. Ultimately, we ended up moving to Shelby due to a career choice.
Yeah.
prior to being in law enforcement, I was a retail meat cutter for 15 years.
Okay, yeah.
And that's what I did, basically to bring home the bacon.
Yeah.
But we moved to Shelby. I had taken a job in Columbus with a grocery store. I think it's Super Saver now.
Okay, yeah.
But it used to be a Bag and Save.
Okay, yeah.
Way back when.
In Columbus there? Yeah.
Right. And so moved to Shelby, raised the kids, and I was at the Columbus store for probably 3 or 4 years, and then got the opportunity to work at the Bag and Save in York.
In York, okay.
As the meat department manager, and I worked there for 4 years and needed a change.
Mm-hmm.
And
you knew it was enjoyed enough. You knew where you wanted to do it forever.
Right, exactly. I didn't want to retire being a meat cutter, so I talked to the wife, and I'd heard about a job with the sheriff's office. Went in and applied, and got an interview. Got the interview with former Sheriff Dauel Radcliffe, and then now
I'm sure Paul
Sheriff
Verka. Yeah.
Paul Verka, and 2 great guys. They gave me an opportunity.
For sure.
And they hired me on. I worked in the jail about 3 years. Within that first about year and a half, I was made the jail supervisor. Then ultimately did that for about a year and a half or so, give or take.
So 3 years and a year and a half of that as supervisor, or 3
Yes.
years and then
Correct.
Awesome.
And then
what was that like? I guess as a jail supervisor.
You
I
know,
guess I don't. I mean, I'm imagining some stuff, but yeah.
It's a type of work I'd never done before. So it was interesting. It taught me a lot about people and how to deal with people. The biggest thing I think I've learned for my career as law enforcement is just how to treat people the way that they should be treated. With respect, with care, with, I'm going to help you if I can. And that ultimately, those 3 years of working in the jail, I think, fine-tuned me to take the next logical step, and that would be out of the jail, onto the road as a deputy. When the opportunity came about, I went to Dale and Paul, and I said, hey, I'd really like to give this a shot. I know, that there are a lot of other guys that may be better qualified, blah, blah, blah.
But these are the reasons why.
And, I think they might have been a little reluctant.
I'm sure they might hesitant, yeah.
Well, and I think it was just because that they hadn't sent too many people. Most of their hires for deputies were guys that had already had their initial training, their certification. But anyhow, I worked on them a little bit, and ultimately they sent me to the academy. I got certified. I went on to night shift. I worked the night shift for 7 years.
Like 10 to 6 or 11 to 7?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I think at that time, what were we working? We were working like.
And how were you?
It was 8 to 6.
8 to 6?
Yeah, we were working 10s.
10s, 3 10s. So you worked 4 10s and then 3 days
I had
off?
3 days off.
Okay.
Which was nice.
No, that's kind of nice.
Especially with the kids.
To have flexibility like that during the week?
Yeah.
To get that 1 day off? Yeah. Or 2 days maybe where you work both weekends and you get 2 days off during the week?
It was. I had worked night shift for about 7 years. And then there was a discussion that happened that basically they asked me if I would come back to take the jail over, as the current jail supervisor at that time was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And they really didn't have any real good
anyone
prospects.
To come up and
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So basically probably the last 7 years of working for the SO, I was it was in the capacity of jail administrator, and then courtroom security, and then working the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got a mix of all of that.
All three of those.
Yeah,
okay.
which was really good. I really enjoyed it. Again, the jail, for me came so natural. Mm-hmm. that it was just like slipping on an old comfy pair of shoes.
Right, yeah. Okay, I'm back in where I'm familiar at again.
Right,
yep,
exactly.
Yep.
So
you know something,
mm-hmm.
and then you get away from it, and it's like, oh man, I'm not so sure. And then you can come back to it, and it's like, I know this still. I'm comfortable with this.
Right,
that is
exactly.
nice. It's a nice feeling to have that.
Yep.
To be able to step back into something and be like, this is great. So you spent 17 years there.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say in those 17 years kind of prepared you to become a chief? What in those times, what messages or takeaways, whether it was from, your time with Prusia or Dauel, even,
mm-hmm.
what kind of things did you learn from those?
I don't know that I have, I don't know that I can give you a phrase or a sentence that, I necessarily took away from those two guys, mm-hmm. other than doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do something, do it right.
Right.
That is something that those two guys are probably the most influential people thus far in my life, mm-hmm. as far as my career. So, I owe a lot to both of them. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
They instilled a lot of knowledge, common sense, and just good practice, into my daily routine. So that was a good stepping stone.
Definitely to have those types of individuals with you and
mm-hmm.
and to be able to, I'm sure you still keep in contact with them, even in your position.
Yep, sure do.
And things like that.
Yep.
So
it's
probably great to have things like that. So far how long has it been in your position right now?
I have been here since February 2nd.
Man, I think it's this whole COVID thing. It makes it seem like it's either been shorter or longer.
Right.
So you started in February.
Yeah.
What was the thought process on, did you know you wanted to become a chief, or did you just see the opening and think, this is my opportunity and I may not get another one again?
Well,
or a combination of something different, yeah.
Well, I guess I had thought about it, but I hadn't really thought about it.
It's one of those things in the back of the mind,
right.
I could do that, but
right.
Maybe when we get there.
I figured Mylan would be here forever. So,
Yeah.
But no, actually, what ended up maybe setting it all into motion. I came over, I think it was a day, maybe like in late December, maybe January. It was a nice day. There was an accident over here, and a gentleman had hit a parked car, and the parked car was owned by one of the city council.
Oh.
And so we got to talking back and forth, and he says, you should put in an application. And so that was kind of my little nudge. And, I debated on it, and I went home, I talked to April about it, and we decided that let's give it a shot. Why not?
Certainly, yeah.
So I guess the rest is history.
Kind of different, yeah. Moving,
Yeah.
When was the last time you probably moved? It's probably, you lived in that house for quite a while.
We lived in that house for almost 20 years.
Because you had that one on Blackburn before that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, we lived in there for, I think it was almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Raised all the boys.
All the boys, yeah.
In there.
I remember going over to Boy Scouts.
Right.
Over your house on
Right.
Blackburn when you were our Boy Scout supervisor. That was always fun. I remember those fun nights.
Yeah.
Selling popcorn and all that kind of fun stuff. So what kind of plans do you have with this position? If you have, I don't know if you have plans when you come into this type of position or what?
I don't know that I have a big plan. My biggest goal is to be approachable. In today's society, it's not cool to be a cop,
Unfortunately.
And, one of my pet peeves is, like I'll see somebody at, say, the pump and pantry or,
some
gas
convenience
store. I'm in getting a cup of coffee or, whatever for the shift, and, a mom or a dad, usually it's a dad. It must be a dad thing. But, they'll nudge their child and say, hey, now, you better be good or I'll have him put you in jail. And usually 99% of the time I'll just stop them. I'll say, hey, please don't do that.
Please don't say that.
Yeah, I mean, because if your child or any other child is in trouble, I want them to run to us, not away from us. So
I was reading in the paper, what was the gentleman's name before?
Milo Miro.
Miro.
Yes.
He had mentioned how, in this position, he was doing things as, crazy as someone needing help with a remote control, or he made a joke that someone caught a big fish and they needed a picture, and so he's just there to help and be those extra hands.
Yeah.
So that's great that you want to continue that, and I mean it's probably not easy being a one-man show doing that as well. And so what are some challenges that you think that you're going to see? Because you're probably used to having a group around you,
right?
And so now that it's just you.
Probably, I don't know if it's a challenge. It's just getting used to it. Being a little more self-reliant, and not to say that the sheriff's office does not help, because they do. The sheriff's office is really good. If I need something, they'll come over.
Oh yeah.
And my biggest challenge is probably getting called at 3 a.m.
And you have to respond. It's not like you can,
I don't get a lot of those, but I get a few of those. So I worked night shift for a lot of years, and I can tell when I'm getting a little older. The night shift is not my friend as it once was.
Rolling out of bed at 3:30 just isn't as easy as it.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. It probably makes it fun too. Yeah. I mean, it probably changes things up. I mean, having a one-man show versus everything else. I mean, it's just kind of different.
And it's the thing I like best, I think, is Henderson is such a tight-knit community, but yet they have welcomed me with open arms. I don't know how many times I get stopped a week just to chit-chat or hey, nice to see you, glad you're here, just those type of things. It's awesome. So
that's great to have that support within a community. I mean, it means a lot to you. I'm sure having that support, especially in our current climate. Having the support, I mean, means a lot. I'm sure. So let's transition a little bit.
Okay.
You talked a little bit about family. You talked a little bit about how you met your wife, but you mentioned your kids. Let's talk a little bit about raising a family in York, and kind of the benefits of having a family in York, and being able to grow a family there.
Well, the reason we moved to York wasn't necessarily because of the job that I had taken, because I could have drove back and forth from Shelby, but we seen it as an opportunity and we did our research, to get our kids into a really good school system. we did our research, talked to a lot of parents about, York Public Schools, the teachers, the administration, the whole 9 yards. And, we were, I think that was one of the big factors in moving to York.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we love our school systems here, not just in York, but I mean, Henderson also has quality.
Great.
I mean, all across York County. I mean, we have great schools. So whether you decide to want to call Henderson, McCool, York, wherever, Waco home,
agree.
There's going to be a great school there for you. So we'll jump into our rapid fire questions here to kind of round things out.
Okay.
Favorite restaurant in York County, and so. Whether that's going down to Carey's and McCool or over to the Bulldog and Bradshaw, or just staying in. Chances are they're in York. What's kind of a favorite for you?
You didn't say Henderson's Cafe here in town, so I don't know if I will get in trouble if I don't name it. But if I had to choose between two places to eat in York County, it would be Perks or Carey's.
Yeah.
So
I need to come over for pizza on Friday sometime because I have heard nothing but great things about the pizza over here. Recently, the Ford Bronco came out. Do you have any opinions on the Ford Bronco?
Actually, I think it's the ugly stepbrother of the Jeep 4-door.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I from what I understand, they're sold out already.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think Ford is doing I think they're going to do it the right way, and what I mean by that is I think they have priced them competitively. Because I think
they're less than 30,000.
The base models were
4x4.
Yeah,
base model.
Like 27,000?
Yeah, 28,000.
I'd buy one of those.
Yeah.
Why not?
And it's manual. I mean, not very often you can find a manual transmission vehicle anymore these days.
Well, you're lucky if you can find somebody who knows how to drive one.
Yeah. I'm dying to get back into one. I switched out and driving has never been the same. It's so boring.
I would agree.
But definitely, Bronco, way better than what the Trailblazer tried to do. Hopefully they try and get like a police version of the Bronco. That'd be kind of nice.
That would be awesome.
That would
Maybe
be
I better
nice.
wait.
Yeah, I think a Ford Bronco police cruiser version is probably in the makings, I hope.
I think that'd be fantastic.
What's a favorite meal that you have here, whether it's a meal from your childhood or a meal that you have here in York County? What's kind of a favorite meal that you like to have? Or meals, I guess. I like food, so I don't want to say just one.
I do too. Yeah, I mean, if you couldn't tell by my physique. But my favorite meal, either at home or at a restaurant, and usually everybody has one, is a chicken fried steak. A good chicken fried steak is just a bomb for me. The chicken fried, the mashed potatoes, some sort of veggie, and put gravy on everything, and just
That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's kind of my comfort food, so to speak.
That sounds real good. What's a favorite memory in York County?
I got to see all three of the boys graduate high school in York. They're all York County or York Public School grads, so that would have to be it.
Yeah, those. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Tiger King was a huge phenomenon that we had during quarantine. Did you happen to get a check in any of that out? Probably good to avoid that.
I heard a lot of things, and it's like, no. I mean, I've got time on my hands, but I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole that you do not want to go down.
Right.
Favorite county or local event, whether that's it's unfortunate that Henderson Days got canceled this year, but is there an event that you're looking forward to every year?
I usually look forward to the county fair.
The county fair.
And I know that like this year is going to be
different.
Pretty different. Pretty limited at best, but I mean, I love the county fairs. Even when I was a kid, and Mom and Dad used to take us to Dodge County Fair. It just the lights and all the hoopla and all of that. So
well, thank you again for just taking time out of your day. I appreciate you sitting down with me for this last, looks about 45 minutes, so it's kind of flown right by. So I'll leave you with the final thoughts. You get to close out the show with any final words of wisdom, a quote, whatever you want to say, and leave the guests with. The floor is yours to kind of say as you want.
I really don't know what to say. I'm really not, a speech maker, so to speak. All I can say is that I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be of service to the community of Henderson, and had been, a member of the York Sheriff's Office. That was 17 great years of my life. I just absolutely loved that job. It was bittersweet going from that to this. But, I have some long-lasting relationships with the guys there. Life's good.
Good.
So
that's what we like to hear.
Yep.
So we're glad that you decided to stay in York County. We're very happy to have you and continue to have you as long as you want to stay here. So thanks for everything that you do for our community, and we'll see you around.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
This is 17 County, a new podcast brought to you by the York County Development Corporation in Nebraska. For more information about life and opportunity in the Heartland, visit yorkdevco.com. Come grow with us. And if you liked this episode, be sure to rate and review 17 County on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.